Welcome to News Inside. Okafo, the Kano State government is blazing a trail on child health. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, we discussed a while ago about the governor doling out money to civil servants and all that. I mean, compare that with what we have here now.
Yes.
You know, Rivers State governor was doling out money to civil servants. I mean, I don't know the purpose that was going to serve.
Yes.
But you can see what we have here, and a Kano State governor being proactive, you know, trying to make investments with UNICEF, jointly with UNICEF, such that no child in Kano in the future will suffer from malnutrition. Okay, in as much as this thing looks clearly like a medical, you know, intervention or a medical effort, but if you look at it, the procedures leading to kind of curbing malnutrition is about feeding. And when you're talking about feeding, you know, a lot of people used to say these days that if you want to avoid going to health center, go to your kitchen.
Yes.
You understand?
And feed well.
And feed very, very well. Then your kitchen is your number one health center. But these days, I think your kitchen is probably number two. Your number one health center is your farmland. So I don't know, I don't have the details of the entire program. I am believing the governor, in his wisdom, will also have to have a farming program in this malnutrition.
Also taking into cognizance the environment of Kano State.
Yes.
We have a lot of kids on the streets.
Yes.
As Almajiri.
Yes.
How are they going to do this?
Yes. You see, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one. It starts with a step. He has made a step in the right direction. Okay. By the time he begins to ensure that there is sufficient provisions for their feeding, okay, he could choose to start buying food, but I would say do not buy. Go and farm these crops. Okay. These children, when it comes to issue of Almajiri in general, it's a different ball game because in the north they do not see Almajiri as entirely an issue of poverty. I think there is a religious part to it. But what the governor has done did not target Almajiri. It's targeting any child.
Okay, so let me go to Philip. The reason I mention Almajiri is that they're as young as 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, living with some scholars, and you can see that they are always malnourished. Philip.
Yeah, you see, like you said, the Kano State Governor has taken the right step in the right direction. He has pledged 617 million.
Which is not really too much, though.
Yeah, so to curb malnutrition, to prevent it, you know, like we always said in this platform, especially give it to Okafo, said the best way to solve a problem is to prevent it and to say when the problem has happened, you want to try to find a solution when you can prevent it. So the man is trying to prevent malnutrition in the future. And like I said, we don't have the detail, but this is the beginning. Now, the first step is the health infrastructure and all of that. I think the next stage he's going to do is to make food available because the major treatment of malnutrition is food. Coming to your question of the Almajiri, you know, the Kano State Governor of today is very proactive about this Almajiri. He took after his, you know, mastered, you know, provided scholarship for Kano indigenous to go to school and study.
Which are yielding dividends
yes,
now.
So that,
doctors,
exactly,
pilots.
So that they could be self-sufficient.
Yes.
So the Almajiri is not spared out. You see, when they said children, it's all encompassing. I'm not they are involved. I am very sure they are inside this program.
So because the details we are getting, the malnutrition treatment, of course, we know malnutrition, like he said, visit your kitchen.
Yes.
But this one is on drugs. You can't take drugs on empty stomach.
You know, he didn't say so. That's why he said infrastructural development. If you read the details, about chunk of the money will go into infrastructure to ensure that those facilities that are meant to combat this thing is available. Like I said, this is a first stage. So there are other stages. Like he has encouraged it. I will lend my voice to it. Now that you have taken the first step, the second step to be agricultural development, whereby food, which would be what they really need
is made available.
Available for these people, so that the families can easily go to the market and get enough food for their children, so that their children will not be treated, especially even the Almajiri, even the so-called scholar. If the state is living in abundance, even the Almajiri will have enough to eat. If the state is living in abundance, even beggar on the street feel it. And now that everything is hard, the beggars on the street also feeling it.
If you were on the side of being an essay to the governor in this particular field, what will you tell him?
He can't be essay as a commissioner.
If I should advise the governor,
Exactly.
and the governor is bound to kind of take the advice. He has started in the right direction, and I will let him know.
What should he improve on?
Yes, he should ensure, when you said that the provisions are on drugs, I don't think they're entirely true. When you see the medical outreach or whatever, a medical outreach also includes feeding. Maybe you've never been to a hospital where they say, oh, we're not going to give you any drug. We want you to sleep and take water. It happens so much abroad. I've seen it. They say, oh, no, we give you bed rest. One of the reasons doctors give you bed is to have you have rest. The governor himself needs to, like I said earlier, ensure that agricultural development is supporting this malnutritional program. The problem that caused malnutrition is simply lack of appropriate feeding. You understand? There's no other thing. You could be feeding, if you're not feeding on a balanced diet, it could still lead to malnutrition. Let him ensure that their agriculture is attached to it. That agriculture is the production of the food itself. If the governor has a department to supervise this and strictly produce and have the children department manage it, then future stampede will be prevented. You won't even have children scampering to go for food when they have enough food themselves. Because, oh, there is Christmas or somebody sharing food or bag of rice elsewhere. They won't even be moved.
Do you think that the money that has been allocated to this program, taking the size of Kano State, is enough? Or will it do something that is quite significant?
Yes, you see, like he said, food. We lost 40 children in Oyo State a few days ago. And I think it is based on that the Kano State government has taken this initiative. The question you ask, if the money is enough. Money can never be enough for anything. But in governance, you do your projection and you do your budgeting. So we've said it over and over again that this is the right step in the right direction. And this is the first stage. And the next stage is to budget more. This is first pledge. And if you see how successful it is, more money will be budgeted into it so that they can expand on it. You see, if you don't start, you won't get where you're going. The man has started. So we should commend him.
So let me lend a voice to
Yes.
If you want to do anything and achieve a long-term solution,
yes,
that must be able to survive you.
Yes.
I will encourage the governor, let him take this in as a bill to the State House of Assembly. Let there be annual budget into this program rather than a one-off investment. So that this bill will ensure that even in the future,
there is
adequate. So there will be a budgetary allocation every year to it, even when the governor is no longer in office.
It will be something
that will be a law.
It will be a law.
After he said, like he said, let it take a bill to the house and let it try to pass it into law and let him assent to it so it becomes a law that the Kano State government had a law that's establishing that to prevent malnutrition in Kano State, considering the nature of Kano State. And in this bill, that will eventually become law, to have provision for agricultural development that will provide food for the children, and how health infrastructural development, like in that what we read the right of, and then there should be enlightenment program all embedded in that bill, so that when the man, if it will be one of the man legacy when in this office.
I talked about the children also being in Almajiri schools. You see, the law and religion are supposed to complement each other, not to be a divergent stuff. And on this note, because most of these children, most of the time, I've lived in the north, I schooled in the north. I know how their operational modus is. Most of the time, you have these children with a scholar staying in that place, not too nice environment. Don't you think this will hamper the governor's intention?
No. When there is a law, it goes beyond governor's intention. governor's intention now become the law. Every child, whether Almajiri living with scholar in the street, living with the parents, will now fall under the law. And all of them will be protected by the law. That is why we are lending our voice almost jointly now.
Yes, because the law does not define the children that they are trying to prevent.
Yes.
It is children of Kano State.
Kano.
Whether they are in a scholar school or whatever it is, they are parents, so they should be well nourished.
You understand?
Medically, food
There will
and
not be
otherwise.
discrimination
Yes.
whether the child lives here or provided the child is an indigenous of Kano State or lives within the border of Kano
I
State.
remember I said that if there's abundance in the state, even the beggar on the street feed it and enjoys it.
All right, we've always said when the state works, the federation works. We'll keep a close tab on this.